So Johnny goes to me. He says,
What does he say?
how do you find the time? I go, I just find it. Because when I need to do the sports show with my boy Dimitri and the world needs to hear about soaking and quaking and what's going on in today's NHL.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not
I had my
about a
Quaker
T3.
Oats this week, and they were
You can teach me.
fantastic.
Sure they were. Sure they were.
Listen, where do we find the time? It's simple. We make the time. Do we have it? No. But we make it, and we stay committed to it. And thank you for all of you that listen, that stay committed to us and listen week to week. Appreciate it. South Carolina, George, thank you for the love.
Yeah, man.
You know when I know the pod's good? I think you said it.
Yeah.
It's the George test.
It's the George test, right?
How quickly does George respond
Right.
to the sports show and the alternate commentary table? That's our wrestling podcast.
Right.
That's the George test of how we know it's it.
When he comes in flying,
Yeah.
we know. And it's actually a great test, and it works because in the previous, let's say, 3-4 weeks, he'll write, hey, guys, that was good. But you know it's good when he comes in with certain verbiage, if you will.
That's right.
Yeah.
This was the last time it was like this was during the Jablonski era.
That's correct. That's correct.
the
right.
era of the Jablons.
That's right. He's all pumped up for ACT. He's got lots to say.
Oh, yeah,
He's got lots to say.
Listen, I just want to give a shout out at Sports Show Podcast. That's the Instagram. That's the YouTube.
Right.
Podbean, Spotify. That's where you can listen to this podcast. Also, CJSW 90.9 FM, third Tuesday of every single week. That's where you catch us. If you don't mind,
I don't mind.
If you could like and subscribe
That would be nice.
to the Instagram and the YouTube channel and the podcast channels, that would be great. Why? Because it helps Amy.
That's right.
It keeps Amy in business.
That's right.
I want to give a shout out.
Shout out to the good Amy.
The good Amy.
Yeah.
I was talking to her yesterday.
What'd she say? How's she doing?
She's doing great.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing a little game planning.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just, talking a few things.
I like
It was
this.
great.
Excellent.
And I didn't want to bring it up, but
What
I'm gonna
happened?
make you a little jealous.
What happened?
I
Tell
was-
me everything. Tell me everything.
I wasn't only talking to the Amy.
What do you mean? Were you talking to, what's his name, Dan?
No, although I wish.
Okay.
We talked about him for a little bit.
I'd like
Great
to think
guy.
so. Sounds like it.
Great guy.
Sounds like it. Saw the videos. They do workout videos together.
They do workout videos
Good for
together.
them.
He's Dan. Hey, you're listening, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Spread the wealth, eh? Get
Hey.
your buddies to subscribe, even if they don't listen. They should
right.
listen, but
That's right.
get them. You keep doing. Keep pushing for us, Dan.
I mean, we're pumping your tires, Dan.
Someone better than Dan.
Her mom? No. The mom? Did you get Iris? Is that her name? Iris, isn't it?
I had a chat with Iris.
Get out!
Yeah. I got some Iris time, baby.
You got Iris time.
I got Iris time.
What's she like?
Everything you think.
Yeah.
And better.
What?
So we're chatting, right? We're doing the Google Meet thing over there,
course,
right?
sure.
And then we're talking. That's how it is. Talking about the Dan. It's like, oh, he's awesome. He likes. And honestly, Dan, thank you for truly. He pumps it. He likes it. He's sharing it. He's doing all this stuff.
I get it. Go to Iris.
Yeah. And Dan is So I'm like, and your mom too. Your mom's the best. Like the Iris is always liking things. She
Right.
goes, she's here. I go,
What?
enough business for one day. I said, excuse me. So she was texting. She's like, yeah. I go, get your mom up here. So Iris comes up.
Yeah.
I meet her. Sweet lady.
Of course.
As you see,
Yeah.
that's what she looks like.
Well, that's
You're getting the
nice.
same thing. She's
That's-
got an accent. So she's like a real mom.
Oh,
like that Jewish accent was coming in hot. Like
Nice.
She's mom. And she's like this. She's like, I don't listen too much. I just like the stuff, anything to support. And of course, I'm pumping the Amy's tire.
course, hey.
She's doing a great job. But I got FaceTime with mom.
That's big. I am jealous.
That was it.
Don't you dare tell me she offered you like matzo balls or something, and then I wasn't part of that.
We talked about Passover.
Of course.
I'm already in. We're already talking about the Jewish holidays.
Muzzle, buddy. What muzzle? Congrats to you. This is big.
I might have a candle named after me on the menorah. That's all I'm saying.
That's nice.
I might have my own
Congratulations.
candle.
The good Amy. She's the best.
So God bless you. Mom, I love you.
Good for
Amy,
you.
your mom's sweetheart. Beautiful lady. Beautiful lady.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And but Amy's doing well.
That's what I want to hear.
She's she does all the videos for us,
Right.
and she's got some things down the line, right? She's and you know what? She loves the advice and the little thing, the little triad we've come up with.
Very nice.
She's gonna need our help.
I like this.
She's got some housing help.
Yeah?
Yeah, I told her on my side, of course,
Right,
I could
well,
help out, but I said, the Mitch.
Hey.
This was his game for a while.
Let me know.
So
I'm
Amy,
happy to help.
of course we're here to help.
Hey, anytime, anywhere.
I met Mom.
I'm pissed now. I knew I should have came to that meeting.
I
knew I should have
You
came.
never come to the meetings.
Well, listen, you know what? I feel like sometimes there's too many spokes on the wheel, so I leave it alone.
You know what? We divide and conquer.
That's what it's
That's
all
what
about.
we do.
All right, let's get into it. Well, crazy week in sports again. It's very rare during the week that I'll actually text Dimitri on a Monday or Tuesday. We'll chat, but we were heavy into chatter on the Monday because NBA, NHL, all sports was fire over the last week. Lots of killers. We're going to talk about that. But I got to start this pod on a little bit of a different note. Last Saturday, we left here. We didn't talk about it at all. But there was the Devin Haney taking on the Ryan Garcia in what Vegas now, you talk about Ocean's 11 getting, that whole, stealing from the casinos and everything. Ryan Garcia pulled off the biggest heist of all time.
Yeah, buddy.
He beat the book. How? Listen, the odds of him winning were like a minus, what was it? It was or a plus 12,000 or something. It was some redonkulous number because leading up,
yes, at some
he was
point,
doing a lot of weird things, saying a lot of weird things, but it was all a spoof.
Is she cute? That one video. That's good for him. At one point, I saw he was a plus 950.
Okay, 950. There you go.
Now, that could change, right? But I'm just saying,
But
you're right.
His numbers skyrocketed. He was such an underdog. Vegas had him heavy underdog. And the guy ended up just beating the tar out of Devin Haney. The whole thing is, and this is the funny part, he made his money during the fight, but he put money on himself and made $15 million. We have been talking about it for the last few weeks with all regards to betting in sports and this and that. Isn't it weird? NHL, you're suspended if not kicked out. NBA, don't even try it, you're gone. NFL, they'll suspend you for a year and they might not even be that nice anymore. But if you're a boxer, you can bet on yourself, make the money, and then get accolades for it. It's pretty crazy, actually.
It's pretty sweet. But I can, and I don't care if I'm contradicting myself or not. That's what sports do. I actually am all for it. If you're betting on yourself, I think that's amazing. Aren't you already though?
Kinda.
It's really a mano. If you're betting on yourself to lose, I'd be like, wow.
Yeah, then it's different for sure. 100%.
But betting on yourself to win, yeah, why not, right? But here's the thing, they have that. It's been around forever. In the boxing world, there's nothing new.
Right.
Everyone's always done it. You know what? I will say that he pulled the wool over. I'm not totally convinced that he's not totally over the top. I think he did party. I think he did do all these things.
I think he did it all.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do agree that I believe him when he said that there was some gamesmanship going on there.
Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, Mitch, I think I said it to you. Devin Haney is one of those guys. If someone was trying to get into the sport of boxing, and you're like, hey, how do you what's the textbook way of fundamentals on how to do something?
Right.
You'd probably look at a guy like him and be like, oh, okay, this is how you stand, this is how you throw, this is how you do all these things. It's not like he's a slouch, but. Listen, man, you got to be a dog in the ring sometimes too, and that we talk about killer instinct in sports. With Ryan Garcia, he also learned his lesson from the last fight. That's, I think, what me personally, I would say as a fan, I overlooked. So he came in 3.5 pounds overweight. Everything. He's like, you know what? I ain't doing that. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I could care less if I take the belt from you. I could care less if I lose $1.5 million. 500,000 for every pound.
Right.
I know what happened to me last time.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that stuff
and
again.
Good for him, man.
And and not only did he beat him.
Yeah. Oh, he beat him.
He beat him.
Yeah. He bet. What's the saying? Some sport. Beat him like a rented mule. He absolutely. I watched the highlights and just laid a beating and a half to this guy.
Now I'm going to throw something out there.
Yeah.
In terms of the boxing world, people will say, I'm the face of boxing. I'm what counts. I got a hot take here. I think he is.
Yeah.
And follow me now.
Okay.
The last 2 fights this guy's been in, Mitch, have been win and lose, have been the most exciting fights on TV.
Sure.
Knockdowns, knockouts.
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
He's been involved in them.
He's what you want. He's Rocky, right? You know what I mean?
He's what you want, yeah, buddy.
The haymaker shots, the knockdowns, everything, and the drama.
Woo.
And guys, I mean, go to it. Vegas, so I tried to look up to see how much was lost, where everyone was putting their money on Haney. I wanted to see, but you can't get those numbers. It's too hard to, I guess, determine. But at the end of the day, I promise you, a lot of people lost a lot of money thinking that was a guarantee.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So,
well, think of those numbers, right? If someone's coming in at like a minus 700,
right?
how much you have to wager just
to make
a little bit of money. Oh, like now you feel dumb. How do you explain that to the wife?
Exactly. Well, honey, it's a guarantee. I promise you, no problem. You get home that night, honey. Pack your stuff. We're gone. We gotta leave.
We gotta leave.
We gotta go now.
And we gotta leave before Monday.
Crazy. All right. You know what else is not a guarantee? The NHL playoffs and anything you decide. So last week I was listening to the pod of me and you, okay? And I kept saying to myself, man, I really feel confident when I was making my picks last week. And I'm sure everyone does. When they're sitting there, they write it down or they say it to themselves. They say it to their buddies at the cooler. They're like, no, I got this. You know what? This is why this team's going to win. And then the games actually happen. And you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I'll say one thing about you and me.
Yeah.
At least together, we're consistent losers together. Like,
it's not bad right now, but there's somewhere, let's start with it. Let's start with a little Florida, number 1 seed taking on Tampa Bay.
We picked with our hearts.
We picked the guy that's been to the dance a few times, but you know what we forgot? That he's got a smaller brother that's cooler, better looking, and stronger. And that's the Florida Panthers. And I even called it a couple of months ago going, this is the team to watch. They're up 3-0, looking to close it out tonight. As we do this on the Saturday.
Mitch, the crazy thing is not only did you pick them, you actually picked them to go back to the final.
I know.
And then in the last changeup, you went Tampa Bay.
I know.
And I only went Tampa Bay because I felt influenced and under pressure.
Well,
I wanted to pick Florida. And that's why today I'm actually changing my
pick
to my original pick.
Right.
I'm now taking... Fine, they're 3 games up. Anything can happen.
It's hockey,
We
guys.
just talked about Haney Garcia,
That's
okay?
Right.
But I am going back to my Florida pick. If you wouldn't mind putting my name.
I'll put it down.
Thank you.
And you're putting the sweep?
I don't know yet.
Okay, let me
I'll
know.
Let you
next
know
week.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
next week. Let me sit on
just to
that.
give you that extra point. You never know, right? You know what I'm saying? No, you know what the one thing is literally they haven't been bad games by Tampa Bay. In fact, if you watched game 1 and 2, which I watched pieces of the game here and there, they were dominating. Every time I watched them, they looked like they were carrying the puck. But the problem is they were down 2 goals at the time or whatever.
Yeah.
Cooch has been scoring, getting some points, but hasn't been that huge influence he was in the regular season. It really is just the young versus the old. It really is. And Florida right now is just way hungrier.
Do you think the Bennett being out is a big thing for them?
So I heard last night that it's not as bad as they thought. He will be gone for the rest of this series for sure.
And what about the next one?
It looks like he might be back.
Oh, okay, good.
It wasn't a break is what I'm getting at. It looked like he broke his hand. He did not break his hand. And then, I think me and you were joking about it. It's like, okay, it looked like he broke his hand. He was pretty upset, runs to the bench, takes his glove off. And then when you get into the dressing room and you're Montour who shot the puck and hit him right in the hand, are you mad at him? Like, how does that work in the dressing room?
Who gets mad at who?
Yeah.
Like, there's that awkward tension. But it's like, you hit my hand. And it's like, yeah, but you were in the way of my shot.
Right.
But you hit my hand.
Why are you trying to deflect with your hand?
Yeah, but you blocked my shot.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
I know. It's like the chicken and the egg,
Or the egg and the chicken.
Exactly.
What are you supposed to do?
What are you going to do?
That's right. Or the panther and the branch.
That's right. Well, let's move over to the Toronto and Boston series. This is where I find it fascinating. Listen, Toronto fan, we've given you a hard time all year long because, hey, we can't not give you a hard time. Every time we turn on the TV here in Canada, they're talking about you guys in some capacity or another. And this time around, first round of the playoffs, there is something to talk about. You got the Mitch Marner, who everybody's dogging this guy, like hardcore. He's trying his best, but he's also not the biggest dude in the world. Austin Matthews scores a goal. Granted, it was a nice goal. Granted, it was the winner against Boston in Game 2, which they needed the win. But no Nylander. Nylander, playing full 82 games, played that last game he didn't need to, has missed the first 3 games of the series. It sounds like he's going to be back tonight. It also sounds like he had some migraines, like severe migraines. I don't know how that all happens all in a time period of like a few weeks. What are your thoughts on Toronto? So series is now 2-1 Boston, and man, Boston is just that team we think they are. They really are.
You know, this series actually is just everything that it's laid out to be.
Yeah.
You have Boston, that the strong silent type, if you will.
Ooh, I like that.
You have Toronto, they're dynamic. And guys, it's not like Toronto's really getting that much outplayed.
Right.
It's a very even series.
Yeah.
What I will say, we talked about, we just happened to be, again, on that text line as we're chatting things. Killers. We talked about killers.
Yep.
Mitch sends me a text. He's like, Marchand, the guy, like, Toronto scores, finally, breaks the ice. Right? And and then Marchand is like 15 seconds later, whatever it was, like, yeah, we're taking the lead again. Like, no, this doesn't work in your hometown.
Exactly.
What are you going to say to that?
And the amount of penalties that guy gets drawn. I mean, you know he's going to be that pesky guy.
Yeah.
You know he's going to be that nasty dude that gets under your skin. And rather than letting it go, where a power play in the playoffs just seems to count a lot more, ask the LA Kings about that. The reality is he gets that's where even the coach, Coach Keefe going, this guy is a special guy. He just does everything perfectly.
Mitch, look at the other side. You talk about Mitch Marner, and everyone's like, they're giving him flack and they're dogging him because Mitch has this thing of being a small guy. Well, you know what? If you don't want to play that way, you kind of don't have to. Like Marchand, for me, is the type of guy who like, how is this guy playing so big?
But he's also that kind of personality from day one. He was like that. Where it looks like Mitch Marner has never been that, rambunctious guy, right?
No, and I'm not saying, but I'm saying, like, if you want it, you can play hard. Like, it's not, oh, you're small, you can't make it in the NHL anymore.
Right. But I guess the other reason I'm kind of curious why they're dogging Mitch so much, and we Mitches, we stick together. So this is why I'm defending
good people.
Him. They're great people. You got the Matthews who scored 69, and we know he's a goal scorer, but he is the guy that everyone says is the best player or one of in the NHL. The Nylander's been gone, and then Tavares, who's also part of that, foursome. Tavares has been playing pretty good. Domi's been playing great.
Yeah, actually.
Even Bertuzzi's come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know who I'm kind of curious? Where's Giordano? Where's a guy like a Giordano? Look, I know he's older, guys, but he was the heart and soul of this Calgary team. He's got it in him. He's won the Masterson as like the best captain, the best guy in the locker room. I'm curious why he hasn't been. O'Reilly, don't hear a lot about him either. And everyone's going to say, Mitch, it's not all about it's the goaltending. You know what? The goaltending hasn't been horrible.
I think it's been fine.
It's been fine. If anyone's got a problem with goaltending, it's actually Boston, where they keep going back and forth. They don't know if they should run with the hot hand, or because they've been doing the back and forth all year, they don't want to wreck that mojo. So I don't know. Toronto, I'll be honest, as Dimitri said, you guys just can't get out of your own way. This is your own fault. You take the lead, you give it up.
When you have, the problem is the media too, because I actually don't see what Mitch Marner's doing wrong.
Yeah, neither do I.
And the thing is because when you have too many names and too many stars, well, you got to talk about someone. Like not everyone's scoring 69 goals on the team. Not everyone is at max capability. And guys, it's the playoffs. Like playoff hockey is about shutting down lines. It's a battle of attrition.
That's right.
Like I don't. Okay, why is no one talking about Pasternak?
Agreed.
Right? Like, that's their goal scorer.
That's right.
But Boston doesn't run that way.
They don't.
The Boston media's never run that way. So, you know what? Toronto media and Toronto, like, this is why. Like,
this is it.
This is you.
Lay off a little.
Lay off.
Lay off.
Okay?
Now, another pick that Dimitri and I had, maybe more me, was the Islander pick. I said to myself, old man dad strength, that's going to play a role in this playoffs. No. It's 3-0. And to be honest, Islander fan, you were up 3-0 in game 2, I believe it was. What do you want me to do with you guys?
2 goals in 9 seconds.
2 goals in 9 seconds in the third period. Late in the third period. I'm just saying, that is no killer instinct to me.
Listen, one New York team is soaking and one New York team is...
Move on. But this is a pick where I used my brain. Dimitri, not so much. This is where the yin and the yang plays. I said, hey, listen, the Rangers, are they the best team? We talked about it a couple of weeks prior. I finally gave them their flowers. I said, you know what? There is something to this story. They got to be good. And Washington just happens to be in their way. They're up 3-0. That could end tonight as well. Dimitri played with his heart. He took Washington. But again, Washington's got a little dog. They've been trying. It's not like they just laid down for these guys.
It's amazing. We both went with the old man strength people.
Right.
That was the whole rationale.
Right.
But what we didn't realize is old man strength needs Viagra.
That's right.
And they don't have any right now.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So you can't listen, you can't just kiss on the neck. You can't soak your way to the final.
You can't at all. You need a little help. Exactly.
And no one's helping on the quaking side either.
No, nobody's there.
No
Everyone's
one's
tired.
jumping
The
on the
legs
bed.
are tired.
No one's jumping on the bed.
This Utah thing, what a pod last week.
We'll get over it.
But it was.
But not now.
No, not right now. But it was something else. All right, we'll head over to the West now. And buddy, I mean, even though this isn't an upset, it could be an upset. Let's call it what it is. Dallas, Las Vegas, defending champions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My Vegas Knights are showing everyone money does matter. The cap is just a number. And so when they pushed everything to the side and said, we're going all in, LTIR the crap out of this, now people are mad. I'm going to be honest. I kind of see why, but you know what? The rule is the rule, and I love using that because no one can defend it, no one can fight it.
The proof will be in the pudding.
That's right.
When the next collective bargaining agreement
That's right.
is on the table, and if the owners actually want to change the rules or not.
That's right.
Because if they don't, I don't want to hear any whining until then.
Agreed.
Look, it's a loophole. It is what it is. And, yeah, look, this series is it's actually amazing to watch. It's very close. Like, yeah, Vegas has been winning.
Yeah.
But Vegas has been winning by a very small margin because it's not like Dallas is not competing.
Yeah, of course not.
But it's good hockey, and it's a tragedy because it's so early. But it's, yeah, like Vegas could sweep.
They could sweep them.
The Stars. It's been that close,
right?
And that's the way it goes, right?
I agree. Listen,
it's exciting. It's the way it goes. But go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, look, a lot of people are gonna be mad because the guys that are scoring and winning these games for Vegas are those guys that were in. Hannafin's been on fire.
Yeah.
Hurdle, fire. Stone, super fire. The point of the matter is, and goaltending isn't playing that big role where everyone's like, oh, they got Ottinger. That's going to be the X factor. No, it's not. And it's been proven over the last few years. Now, the reality is Dallas is still a good team. They could easily turn around this, and next time we talk, it could be a Game 7.
Yeah.
But the reality, what's really happening here is that Dallas is over their skates. They're not used to being the best team in the West and or top 2 in the entire NHL. I think the pressure just got to them. It's the Dallas Cowboys effect.
I think this is just a series where you see two high caliber teams where there's a very low margin for error.
Right.
And killer instinct.
Yeah.
You guys, these are cup winners.
100%.
Okay, like let's not forget that for a second.
Exactly. Now, speaking of a call that you and I both made, and you know what? After Game 1, I'm like, this is going to happen. I'm talking about Winnipeg and I'm talking about Colorado. Game 1 was people forgot. The goalies both forgot they were playing, and they probably forgot to bring their equipment because they were letting everything in.
Yeah.
7-6 final, Winnipeg wins. Next game, I say to myself, okay, the Avalanche scores 6 goals on what everyone's talking about being the MVP of goaltending, the Vezina in Hellebuck. If he lets in 6 Game 1, no way he lets in anything more than that, and they lose. Colorado ends up winning 6-1, 6-2, or something like that in Game 2. So they pop Hellebuck again. Series tied 1-1. Last night they're back in Colorado, or are in Colorado, and they score another 6 on them. Colorado is now showing everyone, yeah, maybe we got 2 of the best players, and you guys think, and I said this, that they tail off. No, this team, you want to talk about a killer. You want to talk about a dog, and that is McKinnon. Man, this dude is going, everybody on my back. I'm doing this myself. Unreal.
He's incredible to watch.
Buddy.
He literally is the ingredient. I will go on record and say I'm changing my mind.
Right.
We talked about this.
You're changing again?
I'm changing again.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, because I changed.
You changed.
Because listen.
Right.
I'm not a fence guy. It's just when I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Right.
I'll admit it.
You weren't wrong about this, were you?
I was.
Oh.
Because remember we talked about, we had the Mook episode?
Oh,
we
yeah, I
had
remember.
McDavid,
Yeah.
and we had McKinnon.
Yeah.
And I said, no, Mitch, McDavid is the best player in the NHL. Scratch that. McDavid is the most talented player in the NHL. McKinnon is everything.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's all the grit.
Yeah.
He's all the speed. He's all the scoring. I don't care. As it stands right now, Mitch, you were right. McKinnon, this guy is an absolute and utter beast.
I know. He really is, guys. Listen, I did not, even in the regular season, this is why I keep saying, and I've been saying for all leagues, the regular season awards mean nothing. This is when, they mean something because you need the points and you're the MVP, blah, blah, blah. This is when the playoffs start. This is when you should be really counting and saying, okay, Cooch, McDavid, McKinnon.
Right.
And right now, it's McKinnon by a mile. Don't get me wrong, McDavid's on fire, but that's a whole different team and issue right now, and we'll get to that in a second. But McKinnon is doing something to a team that a lot of people had him pegged to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. A lot of people are saying this is a big team, right? A heavy team, as they call it. And he's doing pylons around these guys. Like, another 6-goal. It's obviously Hellebuck's got a problem here. I don't know what's going on. For a guy that everyone was saying is the runaway winner with the Vezina, and to let in, and he's got a goals against average of over 5, dude, this is a major problem.
They weren't just pegged to win. They were Winnipegged to win.
I don't know.
And you can quote that.
You could quote that.
Amy, can you put like a little like ding on my tooth?
That's
or my
amazing.
sparkle in my eye?
I like that.
Yeah, buddy. That's the way it goes. Although I will say, Winnipeg is trying to play Colorado's game. They got to get back.
Yeah.
They got to get back to be grimy, greasy Winnipeg
Exactly.
team.
Just do that.
Stop running and gunning with these guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You're absolutely right. That's exactly it.
Because when you have a goaltender like Hellebuck,
Right.
shoot from the outside is all you want. It's never going to go in.
That's right. Well, I don't know anymore, man. You know what? There's one thing to be said. We said it, and we've said it a few times, and we're going to get to it. When you're talking about killers, you're either a killer or you're not. And maybe Hellebuck is just not a killer, man.
All right.
Maybe he's just
Time
not
will-
that guy.
time will tell.
And I hope I'm wrong. It would be weird to watch this go 5 games. And that's the way it looks like it's going right now. All right?
Oh.
We're off to Van City taking on Nashville. That game is split. Actually, I lied. Now it's up to Vancouver 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Yesterday, Vancouver ends up winning with only like 13 shots on net. They win 2-1. But Pettersson, man, where's this guy? Where'd he go? He ended up getting an assist yesterday, but the first 2 games in Vancouver, everyone was looking for him. Literally, like everyone. It's like, you guys see Pettersson? He's like, I'm over here. And no one sees him. No one sees him.
Is he John Cena?
He's John Cena.
Because they can't see him.
That's hilarious. And then Nashville, man, I like Nashville. I got to say, I was watching that game yesterday, and it broke my heart watching them lose because they were trying really hard. They were, like, really working hard.
Like Nashville's like watching your kids play hockey.
Yeah, it's exactly.
You know, damn it, win
Come
or lose,
on.
the effort was
That's right.
there.
And you know what? DeSmith comes in to take over for Thatcher Demko. Played a good game. Listen, Vancouver, I don't think anyone's scared of Vancouver. I really don't. They should have been because of the way they started the season. But Nashville can take these guys. It's just, you need the breaks on, and when you're up 2-0 on like 2 shots early in the game, it's basically over at that moment. But man, Ryan O'Reilly, I like that guy, man. He's that guy. Every time he's on a team, they just are tough to play against.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No. He's got to be one of the best clutch centers in the NHL.
Yeah,
no?
dude. Absolutely.
Like, it doesn't matter where he goes. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know. This series, look, Vancouver is the better team. You're right. I don't know where to gauge them because we talked about Nashville being the team you don't want to play.
Right.
So.
But they're Vancouver can beat, and you're right, they're way more talented. They got more guys. And I'm excited to see Vancouver move on to the next one. I want to see a Canadian team roll. That's where we go to next. But real quick, before we go there, the Pettersson, what's up with this guy? They gave him his money, and now you don't find the guy. Is that the case? Is that case that we see when the guy gets the money, they back off? Or do you think he's just being, is he mentally ready? He's obviously showing he's not a killer.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I can't tell if this is like playoff inexperience of,
right.
Like, yeah, is he just waiting for things to kind of happen? I don't know. Mitch, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I do know is this. The Edmonton Oilers right now are practicing. They're just practicing. Look, LA Kings, I said they're going to go 7. I did say Edmonton would win, and so did Dimitri. But right now, it is showing that the talent is much more on the Edmonton
Different
side.
team.
Just different team.
LA team.
And, I mean, when your team is scoring literally more than 50% on the power play, it's actually gross to watch that power play in action.
That power play is it's a little out of control.
You guys got to put your hands away. Like, don't give these guys – if you don't go to the penalty box, if somehow, some way you limit to yourself 1 to 2 penalties a game, you might actually win. But if you take on 4 or 5 penalties, you know what? You can count 3 goals in almost guaranteed.
Who's playing the best in Edmonton right now, in your opinion?
You know what? Well, it's that Holloway kid for sure. He's really playing hard. And to be honest, McDavid, man, like the guy, I wrote it to somebody the other day. Does this guy, I read it to one of my colleagues up in Edmonton. The guy has like rockets on his skates.
Yeah.
The minute he touches, he's 4 strides ahead of everyone. And we're talking about other NHLers. It's one thing he's skating against you or me or whatever. He's skating against his fellow NHLers, and he's just that much better. He's smarter than everyone. You know, he's like a Nash on the ice. He's pre-thinking where he's going to pass the ball even before. He's doing that Gretzky thing. He knows where it's going to go before it even goes there.
You know who I'm impressed with?
Who's that?
The Nuge.
The Nuge, eh?
Because everyone thinks Zach Hyman is like the gritty, guy. I'm not really sold on him.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, why would Toronto let a guy like him go? And it was like, Dimitri scored 52 goals. No, he didn't. McDavid did.
Yeah, McDavid.
Okay?
Yeah,
he just happened to be there.
Yeah, for 50 of them.
Right? Like exactly. So don't give me that
That's
crap.
a great stat. I would love to see how many times did McDavid actually give him the puck. It's got to be a high 80 to 90%.
Like, guys, don't give me that crap, okay? Like, just let it go. Okay? Let it go.
I'm going to check it.
Unless you're family, I understand. If you're not family, let it go.
Right.
Okay? Zach McDavid, different story.
Exactly.
But the Nuge is playing tough.
Yeah.
And gritty. And I like that because then when you have like the Kane and the Nuge and
the Perry.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Hey.
Yeah. Edmonton hasn't really had that.
Yeah.
And then what's happening is McDavid and Draisaitl get to do the thing.
Well, Draisaitl is starting to pick up. That goal he had yesterday was really nice. Kane put a beautiful little backhand pass to him.
Yeah.
Right now, LA just doesn't have anything except for one thing. Can I just say one thing? If there's one player in this entire league over the last 10 years that deserves some major accolades is Kopitar.
Oh, geez.
Like, man, here's a guy that is with this LA team. They end up 3rd in the Pacific. He doesn't have, like, Kempke's a great player, and they got some other good players, Doughty, all those guys. But, guys, he doesn't have a lot to work with. He's never had a lot to work with, and he's still a killer. I really like Kopitar, man, and I don't think he gets enough pub of how good he is.
He is one of the most underrated players, I think, ever. When you start looking back on it and you're saying, how many Stanley Cups have they won? How many?
Right.
Like, you start looking, like, Doughty and Kopitar, like, those two alone just on that team, like, man, talk about, like, the franchise only exists because of them.
That's right. And that's when Gretzky was even there at the time.
That's when Gretzky
I'm
was
just
there.
saying. But, I don't know. I was just watching him yesterday. Kempke's fun to watch. He's like that. You know what he reminds me of? That guy at the YMCA that's really good at basketball. And you're like, how can he be good? He's kind of, he's tall, but he doesn't have a lot of mass on it. He just looks like that very athletic dude.
Yeah,
and he is, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a great analogy.
Thank you.
He's YMCA guy.
He's YMCA guy. He's the talented YMCA guy. All right, we're off. We can't do the power rankings because we don't have it. So we decided to do the killer list. Brought to you by Sinatra's 403-455-7222. Here we go. At number 5, you got it. We said it earlier. It's Carolina. Who scores 2 goals in the 3rd period late when they're down 3-0 to take the lead against the Islanders' old man strength team? It's Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
At number 5.
I care a Leica.
At number 4, hey, ruptured spleen? I don't think so. It's Mark Stone coming back and scoring some goals and making things happen for this Las Vegas defending champion.
The mean spleen money-making Stanley Cup machine.
At number 3, it's the guy that used to be here in Calgary and he's still doing things, but he's now in Florida. It's Matt Tkachuk. Why? The guy just keeps doing what he's told to do.
And he's got the last kachuckle out of the deal.
At number 2, it's the Avalanche, the whole team. It's McKinnon and the boys. Why? Because they shouldn't be winning this much. I'm okay with them being up 2-1, but they're scoring 6 goals a game.
You thought we were McKinnon about him the whole time?
And at number 1, it's the killer of all killers. You put him in Boston, you made him the captain, and they're like, he's not a captain material. The hell he's not. He's the nastiest, grimiest, and funniest player in the National Hockey League. At number 1.
You gotta ride the hot marsh hand.
There it is, the killer list.
Amy, clip that. That's what you clip.
Oh, man.
Boom.
That was not even planned.
What are you gonna do with it?
That's him.
That's him.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't even know that you were doing
I was just doing this, laying it up.
Guys, I didn't even know he was doing a killer list.
It's true. I said we, and then it was really just
But that's,
me, yeah.
again, this is just behind the scenes of the
Right.
sports show. We're giving you an inside look.
Exactly. All right, last thing. Let's go over to the NBA real quick. This whole killer talk started because of one person and one person only, and that is Nikola Jokic. This guy is not just 3-time MVP and should be 3-time in a row MVP. He's going to be and should be 4-time MVP. What he is doing to the Lakers, he and his team, but he is unprecedented. LeBron, what? Listen, you guys all know how I feel about LeBron, and this isn't even about LeBron. This is kids playing with adults right now. This is that bad.
This is killer instinct at its finest.
Yes.
And you know what's crazy is if you go back to it, how many years when Murray was injured on that team,
right,
that they would come into the playoffs without even a full healthy team.
Agreed.
I'm wondering if we're not staring at a 2-time champion already.
Yeah.
Never mind everything else. You guys, when you beat someone bad, the proof is in the pudding. Now, social media is erupting because of the what LeBron said. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. And you're right. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, they wouldn't say that kind of stuff. I get it. I don't need to repeat the easy layup narrative. I'm going to go one layer further than that.
Okay.
When you get to a press conference and you say something like that, it's because someone just dummied you so bad. And beat you so bad that you have to justify whatever it is that you have left. Here's the thing. LeBron, at least you got something to fall back to. Anthony Davis, you're a bum.
Yeah. Hot
and
take,
LA, get him the hell out of there as fast as you can. As fast as you can. Lakers, blow it up. It's over. You can't make playoffs. You barely do. The only reason you're in is because of a play-in. It's over. It's done. The whole experiment has been lost. Reset, man.
Reset. I agree, buddy. The one thing watching Jokic play is he does it all.
He
literally, guys.
You see him directing?
He brings the ball up sometimes, which is hilarious in itself. And then the way he passes, where I said McDavid sees everything before, Jokic is doing the exact same thing.
Buddy.
He's doing the exact same thing. And here's the final part. He adapts so well. What I was watching is he'll have the ball on the outside of the court, like on the 3-point line or further, or just out in front of it. And he'll direct traffic. He'll pass it out. He rushes to the front. They pass him. Boom. Then he goes to the post where no one really does post moves anymore. And he's going old school post style. Whatever you want him to do. Rebounds. Game 2, guys, he had 20-plus rebounds, 28 points, and 10 assists. That is like the most dominating game I've seen in years.
And think about the lead that they gave up.
Yes. Oh, that's right. They were down like 20 points at one time.
Okay, think about the lead that the Lakers gave up. Look, you guys, it's ridiculous. He's so good that while he's directing traffic on the court, simultaneously, he's actually an air traffic controller, and planes and pilots are using those same set of instructions at the Denver airport.
That's exactly
And that's a busy airport.
That's a very busy airport.
It's a busy airport.
You know, I got to hand it to the whole team too, though, because Murray hit that game-winning shot beautifully. You got Gordon, who's playing great. But I saw this quote that Murray said at the end of the game that I really liked, and I just want to pass it on because I think it's cool, man. I like good quotes sometimes.
He's a quote guy.
Their coach, Malone, says to the team, guys, we have to talk and be responsible because we are the defending champions. We have to take responsibility because we are the defending champions. I literally have shivers because that's exactly it. He goes, you guys are the champs. You guys direct the traffic. You guys make this happen. You're the champs. That's a responsibility. Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
That's it. One last thing. Can I just say about Boston? Listen, Boston, the last few years, you guys have been the number one team. You're, series tied at 1. Last time I checked, I won't lie, I didn't see last night's score. Maybe it's changed to 2-1. If you don't win the championship this year, I'm dead serious right now, okay? If you don't win, you got to do what I've said about Edmonton then. You got to blow this up. Because Tatum is not doing what he was supposed to be doing. You paid Brown, that's fine. But, Porzingis is great. But, guys, in all honesty, at the end of the day, if I may say, either blow it up or win a championship, because this is getting a little, and you guys are losing to teams that you really shouldn't be losing to, is what I'm getting.
It's very simple. I'm gonna, like everyone out there, do you want to be Boston Phoenix or would you rather be Denver Milwaukee?
That's right. Exactly.
Like, just end of story. Like, where are you gonna put your money?
Where are you gonna do it?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Killers.
I'm just saying.
Killers.
Rapid banter. Here we go.
Okay.
Thailand beat Kuwait in an international ice hockey game 57-0. They outshot them 122-1. Mercy killer, no oil for you.
I guess we found the weapons of mass destruction. I'm sorry.
57-0.
It just came to me. I'm sorry. So, listen. It was in 91. Leave me alone.
Hey, but let it go. It's fine. I liked it. Milan is proposing
2001 as well. Woo.
Milan is proposing a new law to ban ice cream and pizza after midnight. What are you talking about?
What's next? You can't smoke in hospitals?
British passengers drink an entire plane dry within 25 minutes into the flight. I'll take the high road if you take the low road.
You have an amazing British accent. Thank you. That was great. That was, yeah.
But are you surprised 25 minutes in?
No, what took so long?
I say, hey, other British passengers, try to break that record.
Service
What's
was
wrong
slow.
with you guys? Slow. It was a late night last night. Let's go. 25 minutes. NFL draft happened this past weekend. Atlanta, who paid $180 million for 4 years to grab Kirk Cousins in the offseason, ended up taking a quarterback in the first round. Smart move or dumb move?
Smart move.
We talked about it on the way here.
Makes
Guys,
sense.
Isn't this what Green Bay did? Yes, we're all confused, but it seems to be working. So why wouldn't another team go, you know what, this seems like a good idea?
Just saying.
Just saying. And Kirk, it sounds like you're mad. You have $180 million. Again. Do you hear what I said? Again.
You, with your contracts, Mr. Cousins, have no right to be mad about anything.
Nothing. Last one. Tony Khan is Jacksonville Jaguars owner, but he's also the owner of AEW. This past weekend on Dynamite, he took a pile driver from the Young Bucks. What's harder, owning the Jacksonville Jaguars or owning and taking a pile driver from your wrestlers?
Taking a pile driver from the wrestlers. His dad looks calm. Mr. Khan looks like a calm.
You know what? The acting debut by you two gentlemen was fantastic, I might add.
It was just great.
Very
it was
good.
great.
Very
well
good.
done.
There we go. We're off to Maga Malaka. Here we go. Last week, listen, if we've done a couple of good ones in the past, last week might be the top-notch one of all time. So we got to ride the heater. We're on a one-game heater. Let's try to make it 2 in a row. We just talked about Atlanta. They did something, and nobody, I'm telling you, the internets are on fire. They cannot figure out for the life of them why they went and got a quarterback when they really didn't need one. So it's Maga Malaka. Things that are confusing. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Daylight savings, Maga or Malaka?
Yeah, Malaka,
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Why?
We don't need it anymore,
We
you guys.
don't need it.
Okay?
I know you said it's for the farmers, but I don't think the farmers cares either.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
They care about fuel costs.
How about the game of cricket, Maga or Malaka?
Okay, Maga, because it's still confusing to me, but somehow I still respect it.
I cannot figure out a game that has fractions as scores. No, it's
Right.
Malaka. I can't figure it out. Make it just, you hit the ball over the fence, it's 1 point.
But they're math people.
I don't care what they are. It's confusing. You want new fans? Maybe you don't because you got a billion watching you anyways. But still, I want to learn about it. It looks kind of fun to play. I can't score the game, though.
Fair point.
Shrimp and prawns, Maga or Malaka?
Just like daylight savings time, okay? Pick one.
Just one.
Just pick a name.
Oh, is that shrimp? No, it's a prawn.
Listen, at the end of the day, I still find shrimp offensive. And not for me, for Mitch.
For me.
Okay?
You know how many times I'd like to be called a prawn rather than shrimp?
Hey, Prawn, get over here.
Hey, get over here.
Finally, some respect.
Oh, God. How about LeBron's hairline? Maga or Malaka? It is confusing.
You know what? Malaka. But he is consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
it
well,
only comes like there's only a layer that peels back year after year.
Well, do you think he'll go to
Malaka.
Turkey
Malaka.
for that hair transplant?
Oh, what a great way to sign a contract to end your career.
Nice.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Little Galatasaray
Come back.
in
He's
Turkey.
got this flow. It's just beautiful.
It's just like it's going in the wind.
Here's one for you. The Bermuda Triangle. Maga or Malaka?
You know what, Malaka? Like, just tell us already.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
You guys, there's something under there.
Something's there.
How can it just be this one little patch on this entire earth that everything goes haywire?
Yeah. And why Bermuda?
Now, I get it. When we're driving sometimes, the signal gets dropped. I get it. But you do it 2 or 3 times. You're like, okay, around this area, I shouldn't be calling somebody. I'll drop my phone call. You mean to tell me there's a place on earth like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a vortex, man.
Bigfoot, Maga or Malaka?
Maga.
It's a thing, right?
It's a I think we always need the mystique of the Bigfoot always.
Okay, 2 more.
Or as we call them, Greek dads.
Couple more. NFTs.
That's
a dead thing now, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm gonna go.
It's still a thing?
I'm gonna go Magalaka. I like a little bit and I hate a little bit of it. I just coined a new one.
That's the first ever Magalaka ever on this pod.
That's it. It's a Magalaka.
You know, I've always wanted to have that. Many times I'm like, it's both a Maga and a Malaka. A Magalaka.
That's a Magalaka. Because at the end of the day, I like it and I hate it.
Last one. Insurance policies. Things that are confusing. Maga or Malaka?
Listen, Maga, because I think that we all need insurance policies to a degree, but Malaka, because, they are confusing as heck.
It's Malaka all the way through. Here's my insurance policy. I back into you. Guess what? Fuck you. How's that? Yeah, here's cash. Get lost. Leave me alone. Get lost. I tried to hold back, Dimitri. I couldn't help it. Insurance gets me blazed up, buddy. It gets me blazed up. You know what? I'm mad now. Now I'm mad at my own list.
Whatever, shrimp.
All right, there it is. That was Maga Malaka. You know what? That's 2 for 2. That's 2 for 2.
That was a good one. And I didn't know insurance was your trigger. Just
buddy.
Could you imagine?
You have no idea.
Could you imagine an insurance policy on an NMAX bill? And we're both.
What is that?
Hey! Don't you give me those energy prices. Listen, episode 304. I can't believe it. We are on a heater. I want to thank you for all of you that are listening. I want to thank you ahead of time for all of you that are going to subscribe to the Instagram and YouTube channels. I know you're going to do it.
Do it.
Please do it. Keep the good Haney in business. He'll cut you. Okay? He'll do it. It's not,
long enough.
You just better make sure you have the life insurance policy. Okay?
What did you just say to me?
Nothing. I said episode 304. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker because we got to hit the showers.
And soccer, football. Pick a name.
Insurance.
No.
Insurance.
Nah.
Whole life.
Intact.
But those insurance agents, like when they're good, they're good.
Oh, you know what? Enough. I'm not doing it. I'm not letting you trigger me anymore.
If anyone wants to talk insurance, you can,
I never had
talk to Mitch.
You never had what? I've never had a claim. I've never had a problem. I just hate them. Not that.
You've never made an auto claim?
No, never.
That's good.
I know. But that's how much I hate it, that it makes me that mad.
Now, have you been in a situation and you just taken the cash? Is that
No, nothing.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't want to deal with it. I'll be honest, I've never hit anybody, knock on wood, and no one's ever hit me, knock on wood. Good. But
I've
heard all these stories.
I've been hit. I've been hit before.
Well, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I'm still feeling it. Go with it because I'm still trying to run the claim.
Right.
It hurts my neck. No, what's crazy? It was wintertime and had a lady rear-end me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that like it was significant damage.
Right.
Just the way, the bumper. This one I had the Mazda. But she didn't. She must have been going like 30, maybe 40. Like she wasn't going fast.
Right.
But the whiplash was a thing, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I had to go to Spiro, Papa Dops.
Oh yeah.
He did the work on me.
He's the guy.
He was my. I had an adjuster for and another adjuster.
That's right. He had an adjuster on the adjustment.
She don't know the difference between this and them. Now you about to win this. But freedom is so now.
W. We're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.
I be locked in.